Veronica's Best Buddy is not my favourite episode of Veronica's Closet so far, but it's possibly the sweetest and the most emotional. The title refers to a custody battle between Bryce and Veronica for Buddy. Buddy, of course, being their dog. And I have a thought about something that happens with the dog that's a bit of a spoiler, so I'll leave that for just now. But just in general, the fact that they're having this custody battle over the dog is obviously quite heartbreaking. I couldn't even imagine what it would be like if I was in the same situation with my cat. And Veronica clearly loves Buddy. And I really hoped for the right outcome. Whether or not we get that, I'll discuss with a spoiler warning. We have a couple of other things going on here. One of the main ones is the fact that they are putting a pregnant model on, I think, the spring catalogue, on the cover of the spring catalogue, and Veronica and Olive are, very excited about this idea. It's a brilliant thing for them to be doing because, as they say, I think it was Olive who said, why shouldn't pregnant women have sexy lingerie? And a lot of the guys in this episode are really uncomfortable with this because, they think, I don't know, maybe they're kind of coupling pregnancy and therefore a baby with sexy lingerie, and that doesn't fit right with them. And it's definitely an interesting conversation about it and the different perspectives, but ultimately it's obviously championing the fact that pregnant women may want to look and feel sexy as well, so why shouldn't they be on the front cover? It's definitely a debatable topic, but I think the episode handled it pretty well. There's a discussion in this that I think is brilliantly scripted. It's a discussion, it's an innuendo conversation about doors and garages, and it really needs to be listened to be believed. I thought it was very well written, very well delivered, very confusing. Definitely, if I was trying to learn about doors and garages, this would definitely cause more confusion than answers, and I think it was rather delightful. So I guess, spoiler, from now I'm going to discuss what happened with Buddy. So at the end of the episode, Bryce actually does a really lovely thing. It's really one of the first lovely things he's done. And he tells Veronica that she can keep Buddy. And I was a little bit moved. And I thought it was really sweet. And there was quite a nice moment between them. And what I didn't like is the fact that Buddy can now walk. Obviously, I'd love it if a dog had, paralysed legs and then all of a sudden he could walk. That would be amazing. And it did make me question, did they just put the wheels on that dog for show to begin with? Or if they maybe hired a different dog? He didn't look different, so I believe it's the same dog. I just assumed they'd hired a dog who couldn't walk. And then all of a sudden he can walk, so that's clearly not the case, and that's a little bit uncomfortable. And if they did put the wheels on him for the purpose of the first 5 episodes, that just doesn't sit right with me. And obviously, if he's walking around, that means we're going to get hopefully going to get a lot more of the dog because he is beautiful. I'm not entirely sure if the dog's credited on IMDb, actually, because if he is, I can probably check to see if it's the same dog. He doesn't appear to be, which is a shame because I know Moose from Frasier. Moose played Eddie. He's always credited on IMDb. If anybody knows anything about the dog, please feel free to let me know. I'd be very keen to find out more. That aside, it was a good episode. As I said, wasn't my favourite. It wasn't, say, the most funny or had the most quirky or interesting moments, but it raised some good points, had some really good dialogue, and obviously some very sweet moments surrounding Buddy as well. Definitely not a bad episode.